Ricochet, the Intercontinental Champion, and Finn Balor, the United States Champion, both are not on the WrestleMania 2-night card. What? Welcome to the WrestleTalk podcast review of SmackDown and Rampage. I am Chopper Pequenell, your Jam That Champion, the true Jam That Champion. I'm not joined by Tempest today as he is off. He's got a day off. He's doing stuff. But instead I'm joined by Sat Niangi. Hi, Sat. How's it going,
What's up? What's going on, guys? It is a lovely Saturday afternoon in the UK. I'm Sat Niangi. E stands for entitled because it's Saturday. My namesake, I'm not too sure. I have to ask Dave Meltzer because he does reporting on things. But you know what? This dream team that the world didn't know they needed, the Jam That Champion himself and Sat E. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how two mid-card champions are left off 2 nights of stupendous WrestleMania card.
Very stupid is what it is. First things first, get in your Ultrachats to WrestleTalk.com/support. Link is on the screen right now. Send in your messages. We're going to read out all the ones that are $5 and up by the time the show goes off the air. But yeah, okay, so some people were very excited when Ricochet won the Intercontinental Championship. So like, oh, about time. Ricochet's got a title. This is going to be great. And, you know, they're going to push him and all that stuff. And Tempest and I were like, let's give a Ricochet. But when's the last time they actually pushed a proper Intercontinental title run? Like, this probably isn't going to mean anything. But some people were like, it's good for Ricochet. And I'm like, I'm glad that people are happy about it. Fast forward a couple weeks. He had a couple of good matches with Sami Zayn. That was good. And then on this show, he had a championship contenders match, which already championship contenders matches can go do one for starters. They suck. He had a championship contenders match against Angel. I mean, Umberto. I mean, Angel. I mean, Umberto. Because there were all sorts of like weird like pacing and like production issues on this episode of SmackDown where the ring announcer said it was Umberto, but then the name bar said it was Angel, but then the graphic before the ad break said it was Umberto, but then when it came back it was actually Angel versus Ricochet. Whatever that was, sure, whatever. Angel then beat Ricochet via roll-up very quickly, via distraction. Umberto distracted him on the outside, quick roll-up victory. Ricochet, your Intercontinental Champion, loses. Sure, championship contenders match, he's lost. Great. But then he gets fired up and he calls out Umberto and says, oh man, you distracted me. I was going to beat your cousin. You come back down here. You get in the ring right now and we'll duke it out. And I was like, you know what? Okay, you've made your IC champion lose on this episode of SmackDown, but you're going to have him do another match, which he can win. And then he's going to look strong. And it can build into the Angel match based on how they booked this match with Umberto. And then he lost to Umberto, which he almost lost via the same distraction roll-up spot. But then it was Angel under the ring grabbed his leg as he attempted to get back in the ring. So then he got counted out. So on this show, Ricochet lost via count out and via roll-up. What? Why? What? That's very stupid. What are your thoughts about this booking of Ricochet, Sat?
If it was before last week, I'd be like, it's fine. He was exposed. You know, people often ask, can WWE book baby faces based on Ricochet? The answer is no, because he's exposed as a dummy, a complete dummy. He got rolled up, he lost. If he was a smart guy, he was fired up. Yeah, he wants to face Umberto. He'd be like, send your little cousin to the back and face me one-on-one. He made a mistake by not clearing the other cousin. Because if you're going to lose to one cousin by distraction, what makes you think the one you just lost to is not going to stick around and do the same shenanigan twice? So that was shame on Ricochet, shame on WWE, and my goodness, they wasted this. Like Umberto Carrillo and Angel Garza are great wrestlers. WWE didn't give them enough time in the ring with Ricochet. On any pay-per-view in any company in the world, they would have match of the night. Obviously, it's a TV match. You have to save it a little bit. But I just don't like the fact that I like Los Lotharios. They should be one of the top tag teams. I wish Ricochet was feuding with an actual mid-card wrestler because he's feuding with a tag team per se. Not that I got anything against tag teams. It's just that you know that this feud is not going to mean anything next month. So it's kind of like, why are we watching it? Why are we wasting time? and nothing really matters on SmackDown, and this is one of the casualties. So yeah.
For sure. Yeah, like this is just complete filler feud, which makes no sense because it's WrestleMania next week.
Is it?
So yeah, I know, right? So after Ricochet lost twice, it then got announced later in the show that next week on WrestleMania SmackDown, it's going to be Ricochet versus Humberto versus Angel in a triple threat for the Intercontinental title. So the fact that Ricochet is on WrestleMania SmackDown probably means he's not going to be on WrestleMania, because that's like it's the spillover show. It's what they did last year as well. They've also got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on WrestleMania SmackDown next week. So that it's the leftover matches that don't somehow fit on the 2-night WrestleMania card go on WrestleMania Raw and WrestleMania SmackDown around WrestleMania, which in theory makes sense if WrestleMania was a short 1-day show where you have the best of the best matches, and then you can have your kind of like lower mid-card but still important matches on those WrestleMania Raw and SmackDown. But the problem is it's a 2-night show that's going to be really, really long, and everyone gets on the card apart from your mid-card champions. What are you playing at, WWE? It doesn't make any sense, because we also got the announcement that in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which is also on WrestleMania SmackDown next week, Finn Balor is in that match. United States champion, Finn Balor. It's in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Do you want to know the lineup, by the way? The people that were on the graphic for the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Oh, it is a bleak lineup for that match. Goodness me. I wrote these down because I paused it and I had to write these names. And I was like, surely that's not the whole lineup. Because you've got, and I'm not dissing on any of these guys as wrestlers. I'm saying in terms of their treatment in the company, these are all very low card. You got Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, Akira Tozawa, Drew Gulak, Reggie, Commander Aziz, Eric Ivar, Madcap Moss, Mansoor, R-Truth, Shanky, Apollo Crews, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Robert Roode, and Jinder Mahal. Like, woof.
So it's on Twitter, ever since the late Scott Hall passed away, RIP, people have been petitioning for a Razor Ramon memorial ladder match. I mean, even before Scott Hall passed away, people have been saying, why not every year WrestleMania to replace Money in the Bank have a dual ladder match for both the United States and Intercontinental title, get all the mid-card guys on there so it gives them something to do, and it'll be a great match. There's so much things WWE can do, but they won't do. I feel like you can tell the spirits are crushed in the creative team. Maybe they do come up with great ideas, but they know that Vince McMahon is not going to do it. So what's the point of me coming up with great ideas if that old man that should have retired a long time ago is just stuck in his ways, is not going to do it? So you can see that wrestlers are suffering because the creative constipation going on in WWE. Nothing great's coming out, guys. Nothing great.
Nothing great at all. It doesn't make any sense to me to have your mid-card titles. The thing is, right? The thing that I get hung up on is that it's a 2-night Mania. You have so much time. I don't understand why they don't care about their titles. They're your titles. It's your company's titles. I know it's not WWE or Universal. They're all, tied up in one match at WrestleMania. So surely the next thing down after your women's titles is the United States, the Intercontinental titles. Like, they should be the most important things, because the tag feuds, granted, the Raw tag title triple threat match is probably going to be good, but Nakamura and Brooks versus the Usos is going to be on a pre-show. Let's be real here. Yeah. Like, you've got no important title matches other than your main event and your women's ones. Your world titles are important. Granted, well done. Your world titles are important. Anything below that, nada. And that sucks.
I also wanted to mention that once we get to WrestleMania, if the title's not defended, it'll be like a year since the Intercontinental title's been defended on a show, a super show, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. So it's mad to think that if you're not the Miz, the Intercontinental title does not count, apparently. So because I feel like that's what would happen, right? Get Miz to win one of the titles to make it mean something again.
Yeah. And it's every single time that someone wins the Intercontinental title, they always say, I'm going to bring prestige back to the title. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, I'm sorry. No, you're not. Because everyone says it. every time. Oh, it's about time we get prestige back to this title. And the only person that did it to a degree was The Miz. That's it.
Is it a shame that that's been a line for like 20 years now to bring the prestige back to the Intercontinental title? Now, since the days when the Godfather won it as the title's never been the same since the Attitude Era, because that's when the quality of the title started dipping. You can blame it on the Godfather or Road Dogg or Albert, people that shouldn't have won the title but did. Random trivia, guys.
It's just weird to me. I don't understand why they don't care more, because this is hurting their own product. If you put more into your mid-card titles and made something out of these matches at WrestleMania, you could have some really good matches. You have such a talented roster, and not putting your mid-card champion Ricochet and Finn Balor. Finn Balor created Bullet Club. Ricochet was in one of the most talked about matches of all time against Will Ospreay. Like, what are you doing, WWE?
Pete, I tell you what they're doing. You guys can't focus on mid-card titles. Brock and Roman need you. They need 20 creative people to come up with great concept, with great segments. That's what matters. Nothing else matters on SmackDown right now. If it's your name's not Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, to a degree, Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, they don't care for you. That's what it is. When I watch SmackDown, it's my first time watching the full SmackDown in weeks, because I knew I was reviewing the podcast with Pete. And when I was watching it, I was like, why am I being tortured for this? Because at least, you know, doing the NXT review, doing it on next Wednesday, it's starting to laugh about, you know, it's funny, but it's so dull. It's like I'm grasping, it's like I'm writing down the matches. I'm like, oh, this match just ended before I can even put anything of substance. Nothing matters. It felt like a pre-show. Even the fact that you had Drew McIntyre randomly walking with his sword, talking about his match. Then you went to a promo package. Anyway, I'm going ahead, Pete. Throw it back to you. I nearly went. I'd throw it back to you.
Nearly just went off on one.
Yeah, I nearly did.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. SmackDown is boring. It's dull. There is very little life. Outside of the Brock and Roman stuff, I quite enjoyed. The last 2 weeks, I thought they've been quite good. Apart from the show-long story of Brock and Roman, we'll talk about this more later, but the show-long story of Brock being in Roman's office and like Roman coming in, that's a fun little story, but I don't think the payoff was there at the end. It didn't live up to what it was setting up to be, which kind of sucks. But aside from that fun stuff through the show, that's actually exciting, and there was a decent match, which was the women's fatal 4-way, but other than that, this show is not enjoyable to watch. It's just not. There's so many recaps, man.
Oh, yes.
It's ridiculous.
I got I kind of appreciate it because I don't really watch. So when
you're actually catching up, yeah.
The Baron Corbin one, I didn't need to because I already know about his history and his poor. But yeah, everything else, I was like, yeah, oh, Charlotte did that. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, she's still tapped out in real time. I don't know what they're lying to it. The whole everything feels so half baked. I think that's what it is. It's like we've watched wrestling during the darkest times. Like I watched it from the new generation era, but I was a kid. So I enjoyed anything wrestling related. But this is so dark in terms of creatively because it's like everything's so half baked, everything's so boring, and it sucks when you, the viewer, can come up with a better concept than the people that's hired to do it. I think that's what makes it sad. Is like if the fact that I can come up with a better storyline, that means the company's not doing the job, and I wish. They always say after WrestleMania, reset, switch, blah, blah, whatever. But I don't know. WWE's been bad like this for the last few years. And I do my best to find the positivity in it because I don't want to be negative. It's easy to be negative. You guys watch the show to be entertained by our musings of what's going on in the ring. So we have to do our best to make you guys not be depressed as well. Like, it's become a support group almost. WWE hurt me. They hurt me too. I watched this show. It was bad.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Anyone who watches the show willingly, it must be insane. Hey, man, we get to talk about Rampage later, and that was decent. So, that's cool. That's positive. That's fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into some of your Ultra Chats here and see what you guys thought of all this stuff. Okay, cool. So, apparently, WrestleTalk.com/support doesn't work. So, you can't go to that link. So, you can't send in your Ultra Chats there. So we've got a new link that's apparently being posted in the live chat for you to use. You can click that link in the chat to send in your Ultra Chats because apparently the link is broken. Thank you, moderators. as the whole like there's switchover happening at WrestleTalk.com, so it's probably something that got mixed up with that transition that's going through. So sorry about that. But there should be new links that moderators are posting in the chat now, so you can go send in your Ultrachats there. But we've got one for now from Liam Leonard, who's been a member for 8 months. Thank you so much. Who says, today is my birthday, so I gave myself the best gift of all, not watching SmackDown live. Sorry you had to watch this crap. Hashtag jam that jam. Hail my tribal Pete. Thank you, Liam Leonard.
Tribal Pete. I like that.
The tribal Pete. I love it. Acknowledge Pete. Yeah, it's well done for not watching SmackDown. It's a good choice, I'd say. So yeah, it's happy birthday. Yeah, happy Easter. Anyway, we'll do more of your Ultra Chats later. Hopefully, if the link starts working, or if you guys can do a different Ultra Chat link, that would be amazing. Go to the Ultra Chats because I want to see what you guys think about this whole stuff later. But for now, let's talk about the rest of SmackDown, shall we? Which started with a recap, of course it did, of Reigns and Lesnar from like last week with the forklift, which they showed like the whole thing. That was like the recap was, here's Reigns' promo, here's them going out to the parking lot, here's Lesnar with a forklift, here's Lesnar coming out with the car door, here's Lesnar cutting his promo. It's like, you're not cutting anything. You're just showing us the whole thing from last week again. I don't think they understand the point of a recap. Anyway, that's a by the by. Lesnar's backstage and says that he's been told that he can't have contact with Roman Reigns unless he's provoked. So he's going to hang out in Roman Reigns' locker room so he can get provoked. And I was like, okay, that's a neat little concept. I'm into this. He goes in and he's like, oh, this is nice. Not as nice as mine, but it's nice. And sits down. And with the power of putting his feet up on the table, he breaks the table in half, which I thought was cool. Yeah, a fun little concept, a fun little setup for something to pay off later in the show. I thought this was a good start. I was intrigued at the start of this. I thought it was good.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. I would have appreciated if they put the same effort into Charlotte and Ronda as well. If that two stories going on at the same time, it's a 2-hour show. As we're gonna talk about it, there's a lot of filler in, so they could have filled it in with some nice storyline beats for Ronda and Charlotte as well. It seems like they have to save all the creative juices for Roman and Brock, and I've been watching bits and pieces the last few weeks, and this has to be one of the weakest one, because I'm like, yay, what would have been different and even great is if the Usos beat up Brock or handcuffed him or something. It just made it imperiled, because it's been the same thing every single week. It's almost like Roadrunner, but we'll get more into what I mean in terms of being a Roadrunner. But yeah, it was an intro. It was a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, it was a good setup. But I don't think the payoff was there, which we'll talk about later. We then got Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jimmy Uso after a recap of Boogs versus Jay from last week. This is just a weird little production thing from my point, and I know this is a nitpick. I understand, but these things annoy me, so I like to bring them up. Nakamura and Boogs came out. They made their entrance. The Usos come out. They make their entrance. All four of them brawl. It's just a singles match between Shinsuke and Jimmy, but all four of them brawl. It cuts to an ad break. It comes back, and Shinsuke Nakamura's music is playing. Why? Why is his music playing? That doesn't make any sense. He came out first, for starters, and also they stopped brawling, went to their own corners or whatever, and then stood around waiting for the ad break to finish before they then rang the bell and started the match. It's minor. I understand. It just bugs me. Why would they do that?
To indicate to the crowd that the match is about to begin, maybe. I don't know.
I just start the match in the ad break. Just start the match in the ad break. We're not going to miss much. It's fine. Just make it feel a bit more real, please. And not like a TV show. Anyway, this match was fine. Nothing much to it. It went like 8 minutes, I think, which I think was the longest match on this card.
In my head, it felt like it was a 5-minute match. Yeah, it was a standard back and forth TV match. I'm shocked. Did you say the outcome of who won in the match yet?
Not yet.
I'm gonna save that. But yeah, I was shocked at the outcome. For me, the way the storyline's going, the way they're bigging up the Usos being the longest reigning tag team champion, I feel like it's telegraphing to us, the audience, that they're gonna lose the title. At least I hope so, because I feel like Boogs and Nakamura right now, unfortunately, in terms of the tag team division, they're the only two guys that have any sort of credibility because they haven't lost a lot. because it could have been Viking Raiders. It should have been Viking Raiders. I mean, they're the only other tag team on SmackDown that's viable besides New Day, but they're busy. But yeah, Boogs is kind of like his reward for, you know, standing out, even though there's been a lot of criticism on social media about how it's not about Nakamura anymore, it's about Boogs and Pat McAfee, their shtick, you know, like Nakamura's song, but it's about the guitar and about the dancing. He's now become corny or whatever. There's a corner of wrestling fans that don't like it. But I was happy that, you know, Nakamura's got someone that can match his charisma per se, you know, even though Boogs went from looking like a metal rocker to Freddie Mercury the last month, which hasn't been explained. The haircut and even his gear has been stripped back. So I've been kind of thrown off because it's like, wait, what happened to all these things that made him unique? But anyway, yeah. So what did you think of it?
I mean, I like Boogs. I think he's immediately impressive. And I think, especially to a casual fan or a casual wrestling fan, I think his style of offense and just how incredibly strong he is immediately impressive to a casual WWE fan. And I think they're right to push him. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to do that. This match was basically nothing, though. Like, it went through an ad break, so a lot of it was in the ad break. We didn't see an awful lot of actual wrestling, and Shinsuke won after a distraction went wrong. So Shinsuke hit the Kinshasa and then wins.
I was pleasantly surprised because I would put money that Nakamura is going to lose this one. Then next week would be Boogs against Jay, and Boogs would win because of that tag team is Boogs. You can tell that's getting the push. He's getting the rub from Nakamura. Nakamura is meant to make him legit, basically. You can tell that it's meant to build him up, basically. And then I thought that Nakamura was going to lose this one, and he didn't. I was like, oh, a shocking, pleasant surprise because they've already been treating him in the tag team. He's the one that gets the heat spot. He gets beaten up on, and Boogs come in, save the day. So I assume that he's going to be the less than the Marty Jannetty of the tag team, but he wasn't. They remembered he's Nakamura. Nakamura should always win when it counts.
I thought Jimmy was going to win as well because that Boogs Jay match happened last week and Boogs won in like 30 seconds without Jay getting a single move in. Yep, that happened. So I thought Jimmy was going to win here to make it, 50-50 booking in leading into WrestleMania. But no, Nakamura won. So, I mean, I guess that means Nakamura and Boogs are probably winning. Like, be surprised if the Usos retain. I wouldn't put it past WWE, in all fairness, to be like, the right choice here is Nakamura and Boogs should win. So let's have the Usos win. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they did do that. Maybe they just really like the imagery of Usos and Roman holding up all their belts, and they have Roman to retain. So like, well, we'll have Usos retain as well. Screw it. Why not? Let's completely destroy our tag division while we're at it. I don't know. It'll be dumb. Be very stupid. Anyway, we talked for way too long about that match that was basically nothing. We got a recap of Kevin Owens trolling on Raw, which was good. Lesnar is still in Reigns' locker room, and he spits out some champagne and like throws it across the room. Being Lesnar. Cool. Got an ad for WrestleMania. Undertaker's going in the Hall of Fame. We know. We then got Shad Gaspard's getting the Warrior Award. Good. That's nice. Now rename it the Shad Gaspard Award.
Yes. The part that got me, because he has the same qualities as the Ultimate Warrior. I was like, guys, let's not do that. Let's not do what history does when the victor just rename things. The guy was known for saying a particular phrasing that people, Ultimate Warrior was not a nice guy. At the end of his life, he seemed like he was remorseful, whatever, but he still said some stuff. It should be called the Shaq Gaspard Award, but when you got the guy's misses there, I don't know if they're going to change it.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. After that, Drew McIntyre cut a promo saying he's going to beat up Happy Corbin at WrestleMania. It was a promo. We then got a Happy Corbin video package. Now, you know what? Normally when WWE just does their normal video packages, I'm like, it's basically a recap of stuff we've just seen, just edited well, right? This one was actually told from Corbin's perspective of him being like, 2021 was the roughest year of my life. Like, he was doing the voiceover for it, and had like all the headlines of him like losing all his money from 2021 and how he hit it big in Vegas, and now he's on top of the world and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? That gives him some personality. It's good. It's a good video package. I like that it's stylistically different to what they normally do, and that's nice. And it also annoyed me because it almost made the Corbin storyline look good, which it isn't. Curse WWE's editing department for being good. How dare they?
Yeah. A lot of people say that he should have stayed broke longer.
He should.
No, that isn't the whole point is you do the payoff before you get tired of it, because this is knowing WWE, he probably would have still been broke to this day, because WWE are also creatively bankrupt as well.
Yeah.
So you'd eventually would have hated it. It would have been like they could have done things with him stealing Rumble spots, or Corbin's asleep under the ring during a Royal Rumble. So somehow he can get. They could have done it, but WWE are not as great as they used to be creatively. So I was happy they wrapped it up, because people still look back to that. Corbin was great back then. If they beat a dead horse, you'd have hated it. So yeah, it was a good thing they changed it. It's just the execution of Happy Corbin is off. Happy Corbin can still be a great character. It's just that they decided to make it corny instead of him being a vicious heel or even a cool baby face or whatever. It's just like there's so many options. They decided on comedy heel, which is not who Baron Corbin has been in terms of his career. He started with NXT as a monster heel. His finisher to this day, no one kicks out of it because it's an impactful move. Yeah, when he became general manager, you can see that he started to dip in terms of how ferocious he is, or you can go back to when he lost Money in the Bank. That's when he became a dummy. But Baron Corbin can be your world champion if booked correctly. I thought this is going to be like a modern JBL, but they're not pushing it like that. It's quite confusing.
I really liked Happy Corbin. The first week after they brought him in, I was like, man, this could be a really fun thing. Like I was still on the high of the broke Corbin, and because I really liked his work when he was doing that. And I thought that was such a natural transition into babyface Corbin, who's down on his luck and everyone's bullying him. And then he works his way back into the company and he's there. And he won the jackpot. And I was like, this is great. This is a great little character. And then Madcap Moss came in and I was like, never mind.
Yes.
That's not what I wanted. But I give them credit for trying with this video package. It almost made me forget how bad it is, but it is bad. But it was good. But even WWE's video editing department can't make Madcap Moss's jokes funny because they're not. So,
do you think they're teasing a breakup because he hasn't made him laugh the last 2 weeks?
Yes, 100%. I think Corbin will lose at WrestleMania, maybe courtesy of Madcap Moss. Maybe Moss will try and interfere and unintentionally cost Corbin, and Corbin will attack him or something. They'll break up. Madcap Moss will go on to become a really, really desperately unfunny babyface, where he'll come out and he'll do really corny kids jokes like John Cena used to do and not take the opponent seriously and all that stuff. And it's going to be really awkward and bad. That's my prediction.
Oh, he's going to be an uninspired babyface. Oh,
yeah, man.
Can we just
wait?
No, can we just do the opposite? Can we just have Madcap Moss turn on Corbin and Corbin turn face? That would be better, no?
You know what? I'd prefer that. That would be surprising to me. I would not expect that, and maybe it could be all right. It won't be, but maybe it could be all right.
maybe not.
Speaking of being all right, after that we got the scheduled match of Ridge Holland versus Kofi Kingston again for some reason. But as Kofi Kingston is making his entrance, the ring announcer says, accompanied by Xavier Woods, here's Kofi Kingston. I was like, excuse me, hold on, let me just clean out my ears here. What? You just say accompanied by Xavier Woods? That's a weird slip up to make. And then Kofi Kingston comes out, cuts a promo and says, well, you are facing a member of the New Day, but who could it be? Who? I mean, it's not going to be Big E, is it? So, who else is it going to be? Pancakes? Bootios? Who else are you going to face? They already just said Xavier's name.
Yeah.
It's Woods. Woods comes out. King Woods on the graphic. Still got a crown. Hey, everyone, it's Xavier Woods. Commentary, it's Xavier Woods. Name bar, Xavier Woods. I was like, what happened to the king? Oh, it was King Woods. That's his thing. What's going on? Weird production issues on this SmackDown. Why did they announce that he was back accompanying Kofi before they brought him out? Why are they calling him Xavier and not King Woods? Why is he still dressed like a king? If he's not King Woods anymore, then don't have him in the crown. Like, what's happening? What's going on? It's nice that Woods is back though. That's cool. I love Woods. He's great.
So many things happened. Like, that's not the first time Samantha Irvin slipped up. She slipped up in the Intercontinental title match as well. Like you're saying, there's been production issues. If Michael Cole is confused by it all, you have to be worried, because he usually knows everything and he steers the ship correctly. Because when the match started, he's like, "Oh, it's Xavier Woods wrestling Ridge Holland," and then Pat McAfee goes, "Yeah, he did say that it's not him wrestling." Oh yeah, he did say in the promo. Right. Like, yeah, it just, I don't know, that scared me, because it made me think that the show we're watching, it felt like a rush show. It usually does. Yes. Like, but the question is, how rushed was it? Because everything's all over the place. Michael Cole doesn't know what's going on. Samantha Irwin doesn't know what's going on. Slip-ups left and right. Poor Kofi Kingston, it's a written promo. They already announced him. I have to do it anyway. I bought someone, even though you guys know who it is. Just in case you're deaf, it's King Woods, Xavier Woods. Yeah, he's King Woods to me, man. Until they take off the crown and take off the jacket and he goes back to dressing like a New Day member, he's still King Woods. He's got a good song. He's King Woods. How dare you keep Queen Zelina as well? Because, you know, they both won. Keep both royalty gimmicks. Let's not get rid of any.
Big agree. Yeah, so then we got Woods versus Ridge Holland. Woods won in 46 seconds. He won with a roll-up.
Our review was longer than the match.
Yeah, sure was. Which, like, okay. At least New Day won this time. There's a positive. Got not much else. Because, you know, Holland won last week against Kingston. That was a bad choice after the whole Big E thing. When they decided to make Big E's injury an angle. I don't know about that one, for starters. And then Holland won last week. It was like, what's happening here? But Woods came in and he won. That's something. That is a positive.
I appreciate.
Why would you waste Woods' return on a 46-second match?
To be honest, I am so over the show. I'm so happy that they fast forward the match for me, because I probably would have done it. So instead of me fast forwarding the match, they went, you guys don't care about this match. 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, I appreciate you, sir. Woods is back. WrestleMania might be set or whatever, because they haven't announced New Day and Sheamus's crew match yet, because maybe that's why there's no mid-card title match. Who knows? But yeah, I appreciate them. I can't rag on WWE for giving me a gift of not having to sit through a Ridge Holland match, you know, against Xavier Woods. I don't care about the match, to be honest. They make me want to care, but I don't care. He broke my guy's neck. I don't care. Skip the match. Skip it.
Yeah. After that, we got a message from Roman Reigns, who was in his car, and he says to Lesnar, "Get out of my locker room. Otherwise, I'm going to put your head through a wall." Cool.
And also, he had food, guys. He had some sides and whatever he was so excited about. He had food. And he went to the Barclays Center where he busted up Brock Lesnar. He was excited about that. He had food, guys. That's what I put down. Roman Reigns had food.
Yeah. That was the important part of the promo, apparently. Speaking of promos, time for Ronda Rousey. Okay. So, I said this in my edited review as well. I almost feel bad for Ronda Rousey because she's not a natural talker. I said almost as well. Note that. She's not a natural talker. And she's been put in a spot. This feud is very talking heavy for some reason. I don't know why. But there's a lot of promos in this Charlotte Flair-Ronda Rousey feud. And she has to do promos. She's not very good at them. And this was another example of they said, "Hey, Ronda, go out there and talk." And she can't. She stumbled on her words, tried to then ad-lib it to get back on track, and failed. She just stumbled, wasn't very emotional, wasn't very... her cadence was way off through the whole thing. Like, it wasn't very good. Charlotte Flair appeared on the Titantron. They went back and forth a little bit, and then Ronda said, "I'm going to win." And Charlotte said, "No, I'm going to win." And then Ronda said, "Well, I'm going to win." And then that was the promo, basically.
So... basically, the whole entire storyline, if Ronda Rousey is showing the same level of excitement we are, this match is not the main event. I mean, she's so excited that she completely can't be asked. She can't be asked, guys. She can't, like.
I love that you couldn't even keep that up.
No, I can keep it, but I listen. I don't want to be accused of losing viewers on the SmackDown review. They'll be like, Pete on the meeting. So Pete's in a meeting, and Ollie's going, "What happened on Saturday?" It just says Sat was committed to the Ronda Rousey bit, and people dropped out because it was so horrible. Because he captured the energy level. It's just that yeah Charlotte's in the heavy lifting in terms of the promos. Charlotte's in the heavy, she's in the heavy lifting. She's trying to make it.
Be doing, because I also don't like Charlotte Flair's promos. She talks very slowly a lot of the time.
I don't mind it because it's not fast. It's I can never miss what she's saying. It's just that I can't miss what she's saying. It's just that this feud, you know, when you can tell a feud that is based on nothing, it's I call it the feud about nothing. Because it could be about bragging rights and accolades, but they're not really doing that. They said, let's make it a feud about how you've never tapped out, Charlotte. I have tapped out, Men in Black pen, and no one remembers that. Yeah, exactly. It could have been something. It's just like, of all the options to make the feud about, once in a lifetime generational talent versus once in a lifetime is. Again, because Ronda does not have the energy for it. Like, I mean, her promo does not have the energy. She shouldn't be. By the way, I know I hate Charlotte as a face, but to be honest, you know, I'll take her as the face in this feud because Ronda should be heel. Because Ronda as a heel is believable because she's naturally a person that doesn't like things and people and so forth. So her monotone promos would be better suited for a character we have to boo, because this whole entire program is like Ronda's promo, uninspired.
Uninspired is a great way to put it. Seriously, if she had come out and she cuts maybe 30 seconds at a push of just like her not caring, that could totally work as a heel character. She comes out and she's just like, who's my opponent this week? Oh, you? Cool. Don't care. I'm just going to kill you like I kill everyone else. Fine. That could totally work as a character. Her as a babyface, this does not work at all. I'm not excited about this match.
I did like. Yeah, she flubbed the line about the women's title, but the real Ronda came out in a promo. For me, that flub actually went her. Wait, why is it even called Women's Championship? I actually like the fact that she actually was. You can tell that that's really her, because all this time I feel like she's trying to say to people, "Hi guys, Vince is making me play this character. I don't really care about you guys. I just want to make more money because my daughter's in the bus and we need more money." And then she cared about that because it's true. She's like, "Why is it called? It's the SmackDown Championship." I did appreciate that. She did flub her lines, but I appreciate we got some little mini fire towards the end.
She tried. Bless her little cotton socks. She tried. Anyway, stop putting her in spots where she has to talk because she can't. We then got Kayla Braxton talking to Brock Lesnar in Roman Reigns' locker room again, where she said, "Hey, are you gonna Roman said you should leave. Are you gonna leave?" And he's like, "Why would I leave? I'm having so much fun."
Right.
Honestly, you should go get Roman and tell him to come here because I'm running out of things to smash. Picks up a lamp and then throws it across the room. Bit of fun. Thought that was all right. Nice.
Oh yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing.
Yeah. Again, I'm enjoying these little pieces through the show, and I was like, okay, this is building to something good. We'll get to that. We then had the stuff we've already spoken about the Ricochet versus Angel match, the Ricochet versus Humberto match. God, another little production thing that we were mentioning earlier of the commentators not knowing what's happening. Like when he called out Humberto, who came back down and they started the new match, commentators were like, is this a championship contenders match? And they were like, I assume so because he's facing the Intercontinental Champion? And they had no idea. Cut to an ad break, it comes back and go, we did get confirmation during the ad break that it is in fact a championship contenders match. Oh God, all right. Woof. It felt like the commentators were not in the know of what's happening, rather than it feeling real and, oh, this is an impromptu match and the commentators are caught by surprise. It didn't have that vibe at all. They could have done it. It just wasn't executed very properly, if that's what they were going for.
It wasn't. It feels like someone went, let's do this like a WCW 1998 show where the announcers don't know what's going on. And that's what it is. They don't know how to execute any of the storylines because they're confused like us. It's like the graphic says one thing, but it's another wrestler and the announcer got it wrong. And then, it just... half-baked show, you know. Like, I don't usually like to be negative on a wrestling show. I always trying to look on the silver lining, because you have to when you watch this sort of thing, or you become depressed or you hate it. But there was nothing that can salvage what we saw in terms of a show as a whole, except for this next match.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, because first, Sami Zayn cut a promo saying that he's had nothing but time to plan how to hurt Johnny Knoxville. So I'm expecting something good out of their match. Hopefully. Please. Thank you. And then I made a note. I was like, what is this pacing? Because they come back from Sami Zayn's promo. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are just chatting about what's coming up next. From out of nowhere, Austin Theory comes in, slaps Pat McAfee across the head, and then runs off. And then Pat McAfee goes, what? And then gets up and sprints after him, sprints to backstage, and Austin Theory goes into Mr. McMahon's office, and then Pat McAfee can't get in and bangs on the door and goes, "Arr!" What a build. What a build to WrestleMania. Oh, what a great match that I'm definitely looking forward to.
You know what? Whoever does the videos, if they can make that portion exciting in the video package for WrestleMania, they need a raise. Because even I thought, I was like, I'd rather if they didn't do that. I'd rather he'd like Pat McAfee goes on Raw, because this was nothing. It'd been great because people are like, oh, Vince's office, what's he gonna do? To be honest, let's be realistic. He's like, I'm not Stone Cold. If I do kick the door down, I might get fired. Logically. But yeah, it didn't make sense. It was a waste of time. It really was.
Yeah. It was a waste of time. It felt like to me, this was an example of WWE had the mindset on this show of trying to promote basically every match on WrestleMania. They're like, we have to promote all the matches. We have to get something to promote all the matches on this card, which led to tons of throwaway segments. Like this one was just nothing that was just thrown in because they need to just keep that plate spinning of Theory and McAfee. Otherwise people are going to forget. Or you have, King Woods coming back in a 46-second match because, we just need to bring him back because, we've not got much time to do anything with it. But somehow on this 2-hour show, because we've got time to talk about Undertaker being the pace car driver, and we've got time to tell you that he's going in the Hall of Fame again, but we don't have time to actually build our show properly and build to WrestleMania properly. So it felt like to me they were rushing and just putting stuff in to just keep the plate spinning of all the matches that they want to do without actually doing anything of substance.
Nope.
Anyway, we then got the best match on the show, which was good, which was Sasha Banks versus Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler versus Queen Zelina in a fatal 4-way. That sounds like a bunch of fun on paper. Really good stuff. And it was fine. It was good. The action was okay. I didn't like that immediately Baszler and Zelina got out of the ring, and then Rhea Ripley and Sasha Banks just kind of had a singles match for a bit. Like, I know that's WWE's formula of just kind of if they have any sort of multi-person matches, they have a singles match, other person comes in, have a singles match, other person comes in, have a singles match. I know that's their formula, but this felt like a very, very transparent way to do it without having felt like a very convoluted way to get to Rhea versus Sasha when they just went we're going to leave. And then just went to the outside. It's like, well, just don't do that.
Yeah, also I feel like they gave it away too quickly, because don't you want to save that Sasha and Rhea moment for when to pop the crowd? It was a bit too early, but it wasn't for long until Emily ensued, and so many wrestlers, the tag team partners, was like, "Hey, it's no DQ, let's get involved." So that happened. That was a fun bit. But for me, the highlights of those match was Sasha Banks, where she did the double bank statement and also the double backstabber. So those for me were the highlights from the match. It was a good match because it wasn't too fluff or filler. It's like, we only have a few minutes, let's throw in the best moves and get out, basically. And that's what it was.
Yeah, and I think that it's a TV match. It's not a big pay-per-view match or anything like that, so you're not going to throw in all the craziness. But I feel like they maybe could have done something a bit bigger for this match, because like I said, the biggest spots were double bank statement, double backstabber, couple other, there was a dive to the outside from Rhea Ripley, I think, like a cannonball to the outside.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
it's about it. Maybe could have had a few things more to kind of build up the crowd, get to that kind of organic finish a little bit more. But that's a minor criticism. This was the best match on the show. It was good.
But questions, do you think, based on the storyline so far, I honestly storyline, the storyline's they've been adding people, if you think about it. It's a tag title match. We're adding in random tag teams. Who in your mind do you think is going to win the tag titles?
Banks and Naomi. I think they're the ones that I think they want to give that Mania moment to.
I agree. Team bad all the way. But you know, in WWE, they may go with live brutality.
Oh, don't like that name.
They look more of a tag team than Rhea and Nikki, so I'll give them that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, Liv had to just go into her old, Riot Squad outfits and like, yeah, I can make this work. I got another,
totally.
alternative person teaming up with.
We then also during this match, we got the announcement for WrestleMania Raw, which is going to feature Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Wow, they're both on Raw. Whoop-de-doo. And also, they made the announcement that it's going to be RK Bro versus the Usos. What? Why? But this is tag team champ. What happened to the one night of the year where Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head in direct competition? What happened to Survivor Series?
Ratings, pal. We need more ratings, pal.
Like, I'm sure it's going to be, if they want it to be a fun match, if WWE let it be a fun match, it'll be a really fun match because they're all fantastic wrestlers. But like, unless you have some kind of screwy finish, which they will, your tag team champion, one of your tag team champions are losing. That's a bad match to book.
I don't think any tag team's gonna lose. I legit think that it's gonna be a melee. We might get some Alpha Academy interference, Boogs and Shinsuke possibly. So don't fret, my friend. It may be something nice.
But like, it's gonna be a DQ finish. So like, why would I get invested in it? Because I already know it's gonna
end the fact that you can predict it. That means you won't be disappointed. We won't be disappointed. You'll be like, I knew it. It's like a bingo card. If it does happen, bingo. Yes, I'm happy. It was a DQ. You have to turn it because we can be depressed. Come on, Pete. We can't be depressed. We have to turn it to a positive. Yeah, DQ.
So after this, Roman Reigns decided to show up for work finally. Here's a question. Why does Roman Reigns need a locker room? If all he's going to do is show up, do a promo, and leave, why does he need a locker room?
Because at the moment, his locker room has been commandeered by a guy he doesn't like. So he has to pretend that he's not a scaredy cat, that he didn't do a detour to get food because he can't go into his locker room. I think that's what it is. It has to be he's a heel. Usually he's at the show. Because you have to remember, since Brock Lesnar decided, I'm going to be a full-timer for this feud. I'm going to appear every single week. Roman Reigns has been appearing less and less in the building he's at. So I'm just going to go. That's my logic. WWE logic might be different, but my logic is he's too afraid to turn up to work. Because back in the days, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, like a mob boss, he used to chill in the locker room. He used to live there. He used to come out whenever he wanted. But since Brock Lesnar's been around, I wouldn't come into my locker room. Have you seen what happens to my locker room? A bloody cowboy from Saskatchewan is messing up my locker room. Come on, Pete. I got a limo. I got a wise man. And I like food. Some sides with that. Some fries with that.
So he shows up and he goes out to do a promo. We got confirmation of some matches for certain nights as well. On the Saturday, it's going to be Corbin and McIntyre, Lynch and Belair, Flair and Rousey, and the KO show on the Saturday night. And on the Sunday, it's going to be McAfee Theory, Edge and Styles, Zayn and Knoxville, the Raw Tag Triple Threat, and Lesnar and Reigns. Those were the ones that were confirmed for each of those nights here. And then we got Roman Reigns. This bit made me chuckle. Roman Reigns coming out to do a promo with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee putting over how amazing Roman Reigns has been. What a Universal Champion. What mode is he in right now, Pat? God mode. Greatness at a different level. That's GAD mode, Michael Cole. Come on, man. It's greatness on a different level.
He's at a different level. He's on GAD mode. It's Michael Cole. He's not cool like that. He's from Syracuse, if that means anything.
Unbelievable. God. So he came out. He takes his sweet time to do his usual thing of Brooklyn, acknowledge me. It was Brooklyn, right? I can't remember. And then he asked Heyman, he's like, where's Brock Lesnar? It's like, why would Heyman know? He's been with you the whole time, Roman. Why would he know? He knows the same information you do.
Then he's not a wise man. He has to know everything. Like, he has to have, production people. You have to assume that Paul Heyman is in with, a lot of people in WWE. You'd be like, production stuff. Yeah, he's in the room right now. He knocked over a champagne bottle. I can hear him screaming at Sable on the phone. You know, stuff like that.
They showed on the Titantron the locker room that's been trashed, but Lesnar isn't there. Where's Lesnar? He's backstage with a pickaxe and destroys the car. And Roman Reigns is like, I have like 4 of those. I don't care. I was like, sure, you care a little bit. How are you going to get home? Sure. Anyway, he then comes out to the front, and Roman Reigns is like, whoa, where's he going? And he's coming out to the ring, comes out through the crowd, gets up on the commentary table, a load of security come out. Lesnar jumps into the security, beats them all up with a chair, and starts just wailing on all of them. The Usos come out to protect Roman, and then they all run away. And then Roman in Gorilla's like, Lesnar, you will acknowledge me at WrestleMania. And I was like, this promo holds no water because you just ran away. I don't believe a word you're saying anymore, Reigns, because you just ran away. It's bad.
Lesnar did a hi-ya! He did a country boy kick on one of the security guards. He went pow in the face, and he got a chair. They went whack, whack, whack. And then Roman Reigns was like, I'm gonna skedaddle. But you have to, okay, I get what you mean, Pete. Because you're buying into the tribal chief kayfabe wise. You're buying into it. Like, why is he running away? He's a heel. He has to look tough. That's the whole point, right? He has to preserve the image. That's why he had to go to Gorilla. He could have said it to his face, but he failed. So he had to go to Gorilla and then come on, who's a tough guy? I'm a tough guy behind my keyboard. You know, a lot of keyboard warriors. They come to your face, they start shaking your hands. Oh, I'm a huge fan of the show. Even though you call me a scumbag on Twitter, you don't know who you are. But yeah, that's Roman Reigns. He's been a keyboard warrior. He's tough away from him. He squirms when he's near. So that's what I'm taking it from the storyline. But I know what you mean.
I get that. I get that that's what they're going for. I just don't think it works because the thing that made Roman great was that he wasn't a regular heel. He's the mob boss. He is the guy that's always calm and in control. And I know that you want to have Lesnar be the one guy that Reigns is scared of, right? But now he's just a normal, regular chicken S-word heel, right? He's just a dude anymore. He doesn't feel special anymore. True. And that to me sucks.
It felt like a slasher film. I ain't gonna lie. Every single week when Lesnar goes after Roman Reigns, it feels like a slasher film. Oh no, here's Jason. Oh no, he's stabbing everyone. Oh no, Roman Reigns is the final girl. He's trying to get away. That's what it feels like. Because every week they're running away. Oh no, here's Jason. He's got a forklift. It feels like a slasher film. Because every time it's Brock Lesnar running away from Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns just running away. If they made it a cage match, that'll make it more interesting. Guys, got one more week to make it into a cage match or something, because it'll tie into the storyline of Roman Reigns always running away and the interference and so forth.
And like he mentioned, when Brock Lesnar was trashing Roman's car, Roman said, Brock, there's going to be no weapons allowed at WrestleMania, dummy. And I was like, oh yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why aren't they having like a no DQ match? This feels like it should be like a no DQ match, right?
Right. Learn from Triple H and Randy Orton. Do not blow a feud and make it a wrist lock, headlock, takedown, and chin locks. Come on, guys. We want Lesnar to smack. You want it to be a demolition derby, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns style. You want, like Roman Reigns says, I'm gonna smash him. I'm gonna smash him and grab him and slam him and gnash him and smash and dash and hash him. You know, verbiage that he likes to use.
Yes, all of that. Yeah,
stack him.
Yep, perfect. Reigns does his promo in Gorilla while Lesnar's still in the ring and beating up the security. Biggest WrestleMania match of all time, and that's the show. Overall, I thought this was bad. I thought on any other week, this would be a 2 out of 5 show. But the fact that we are 1 week out from WrestleMania, this was not good. Like, it's not good. This is nothing is making me excited for the show. And while the Lesnar stuff being in Roman's locker room I thought was good, the payoff of him coming out and Roman running away, not worth it. It's what we've already seen before. It's exactly the same thing week after week after week. There's no progression in the story. It's the same thing all the time.
I think you're right. I think this should have been a show where they introduced a new stipulation. I think that's what's missing from the show. The reason why there's no progression is because they kind of blew their load so early on that they've now just, when you did. So basically, they did everything in reverse. They did everything so fast in the beginning. Now they're running out of stuff. Now they're just trying to slow it and drag it out. It should have been that this is the show that Adam Pearce is like, all right, it's not gonna be a cage match, something. You know what? Usually people hate on it. I'd rather contract signing for something, like a contract signing that Heyman's banned, banned from the ringside, Usos banned, Lesnar's cowboy hats banned, something, just to change things up, because it really was. They had nothing to do that. What can we do this week? Forklift. No, we've done that last week. What if he just that's what it is. I feel like we're in that stage where they don't know what they're doing, and
I said originally when they set up this match and they did the contract signing weeks and weeks and weeks ago, I said originally, I think this was just after Elimination Chamber, and I said, okay, if they're doing this match for WrestleMania, if they're going to be on SmackDown every week, or SmackDown and Raw every week, I really hope they've got enough material to last until WrestleMania. And guess what? They didn't. They're improvising week to week, and they're just trying to spin that plate and just keep it going until WrestleMania. But they don't have enough. They've already just gone, right, well, we've set up the match. Job done. It's Reigns and Lesnar. Everyone's going to love it. Biggest WrestleMania match of all time. Everyone buy tickets.
And then it's like, let's add another title. Title versus title. Let's bust open Brock Lesnar's head.
Yeah. At a house show that isn't televised, and then we'll just show that clip ad nauseum. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So yeah, for real, I'm with you. Like, if they had planned it out to a T, because what happened is someone watched Attitude Era Rock versus Stone Cold WrestleMania 15. So they sat down studying. Okay, this had to book Brock Lesnar, make him defiant, blah blah. This had to book Roman Reigns, but it's such a pale imitation, because I feel like they're not cast in their natural roles as well. It's like, just let him be Brock Lesnar, let him be Roman Reigns, let it be that Roman Reigns wants to take him out. Or what if this time around Roman Reigns finally figured out a weakness, something, or cut off the ponytail, which they'll never do. It should be something drastic, It just, nothing drastic's happened. Hey, trim off his beard a little bit. I don't know. Just make it personal even more.
Yeah, man. I've also seen, just very quickly, we'll just talk very briefly in the chat. I just saw a couple messages. One, someone said, can Sat do SmackDown reviews permanently? Not SmackDown, but Sat is doing the NXT podcast every week now. Sat and SP3 are doing the NXT podcast every single week, every Wednesday. So if you want more Sat, Wednesdays is your day. Sat and SP3 are doing the NXT podcast now. And also, I saw people say that I should watch this show on 2x speed. I do. It's too much, man. It's still not enough. This show kills me every week. Anyway, very quickly, because we are going to massively overrun, we have to talk about AEW Rampage now. Very quickly, I'll do the poll for this show. I gave it, I think I made it through. I gave it a 1.5 out of 5, because I was like, this would be a 2 out of 5 show, but 1 week out from Mania, so I kind of want to give it a 1. So I split the difference. 1.5 out of 5. What would you have rated this show, Sam?
1 out of 5. I'm being ruthless. It tried my patience. I'm like, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this SmackDown review show with Pete, and this is what you give me. Your pile of doo-doo, a pile of crap. I give you 1 out of 5.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Some people are scared to give 1 out of 5, so they're like, no, we need to reserve it for like the worst of the worst shows when there's something actively bad. I'm like, it is actively bad. It's boring.
That's actively bad is no stars.
Yeah. According to the community tab poll that I put up earlier, 46% of people voted for a 3 out of 5 show, 23% going for a 2 out of 5 show, 21% going for a 1 out of 5 show, 4 and 5% for a 4 and a 5 out of 5. Effectively. So yeah, people seem to be great. It's definitely kind of like that mid down is heavily weighted on that kind of 1, 2, 3 range. So yeah, I think we're probably in the right there. But yeah, anyway, Rampage. Talk about that, because
this is Rampage.
Rampage.
Rampage. Okay. Oh, Jampage. Welcome to Jampage.
Jampage. So this show kicked off. Now, forgive me if I've missed something here. Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes. Where did this come from? Because I don't know.
To be honest, right? Because I haven't watched this week's Dynamite yet, so I don't know if it was announced on there. But I was like, hey, Dustin, I haven't seen you in a while. And Lance Archer, can we just Jake the Snake Roberts is Lance Archer's manager, right? Right? You know, nothing's been said that Jake's injured or anything like that. I like Dan Lambert when he's with his team. This alliance does not make sense because it still hasn't been explained. I thought it was like an unholy alliance for the title, which he failed. So if I'm Lance Archer, you're not as great as you say you are. So they should not be a thing because Dan Lambert does not change the type of Lance Archer, the guy who loses a lot, the guy who's allegedly a Meadowhawk monster, but he's a womp when it counts.
Yep. So apparently, according to the chat anyway, it's because they're both from Texas and put the Texans on the Texas show. I mean, okay, but like still a bit weird. It just came out of nowhere. I wasn't particularly invested in this one, I'll be honest. And I thought the match was all right. Dustin Rhodes won.
I had it in my notes. It's a brawl type match with Lance controlling most of the match. Archer never wins when it matters.
Correct. And apparently this match mattered because he didn't win. Dustin Rhodes won with a roll-up. Very early in the match, Lance Archer exposed the turnbuckle. Dustin Rhodes hit him off it, rolled him up, got the win. But then Lance Archer murdered everybody afterwards and stood tall. So,
50-50. Wait, that's the WWE style booking, isn't it?
That's WWE style booking.
Yeah.
And the exact reason they did that is because Lance Archer was getting too many wins. So he was ranked too highly on the rankings. So they gave him a loss so they can bump him out of first spot because it doesn't fit with the story of him going for the title.
Get rid of the ranking. The ranking has been the biggest hindrance of AEW thus far. Like, they want to do a sports style presentation, but nothing about AEW sports style. I say MLW is more sports style presentation than AEW. Just get rid of the ranking. I mean, TNA did it before. They tried a ranking and it's never worked. Accept it. I mean, later on, we'll see Dan Lambert change something, which we'll get to.
Yeah. After that, they had him lose to get him out the top spot, which it seems really transparent to me. And I feel like there was a way to do that without making it so obvious that that's why they did it, to take him out of the top spot. Because to me, that seemed like the whole reason they had him lose here was for that reason. They wanted to protect him, which is why he still murdered everyone afterwards. But they had him lose so they can bump him out of the rankings, which to me doesn't make any sense. If you're going to do the rankings, you should probably stick to them.
Would you have had him be up an official to take him out of the ranking? Something about put this guy down, or No,
I would have had someone beat him who should be going for the title or close to it. Have him against a very big star who legitimately beats him.
So basically, you're saying it should have been CM Punk versus Archer.
It should have been like a CM Punk. It should have been an Adam Cole. It should have been someone who is much closer to the title scene currently, because Archer had his shot and he lost, you know? And I like the rankings. I think they're a fun thing to have and they can build stories out of it. And I think when you do it well, it's fine. But when you get hung up on it, when you book yourself into a corner, when you're like, oh crap, we've given Lance Archer way too many wins. He's like number one in the rankings now. How are we going to take him out? Don't have him lose to Dustin Rhodes. Because that just seems really weird to me,
Understood. Makes sense. You're right. And unless this is meant to lead to a feud between Dustin and Lance, because after the match, he busted him open like a ketchup bottle that falls down in a supermarket. Smash.
He smashed him. After that, Jay Lethal cut a promo backstage. I thought this was quite interesting. Jay Lethal being like, hey man, I've got two big losses against it was against Ricky Starks and against Adam Cole. Yeah. And he was saying, there's got to be a better way. Like, I'm back to the drawing board. I don't want to be back to the drawing board. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be something I can do. And I was like, okay, this is starting to tease something for Jay Lethal, which is good because he hasn't really done anything so far in AEW.
I got a bit worried because this promo or this realization has been a long time coming. I'm hoping it is be a course correction for Jay Lethal. I've been a huge Jay Lethal fan on ROH, the greatest first generation wrestler run. Like, his run with the TV title and world title was incredible. I'm just worried because the main audience know him as Black Machismo. I'm worried that they may think, hey, that worked. Want to be Black Machismo, be part of Best Friends and hang out with Danhausen and Orange Cassidy and yada yada, waka waka. Or hopefully he might bring the foundation, because he was part of the foundation where with Jonathan Gresham and Tracy Williams and there's another guy I forgot I'm blanking on, but he had his own group. What I'm trying to say is that I hope that it's more of the latter, not the former. I love Black Machismo, but leave the memories alone.
Leave the memories alone, indeed. Yeah, Gresham coming in. Big thumbs up from me. Fuego del Sol had a promo in the ring next. I really liked that he did a "You People" promo, but as a babyface. He was like, "You people, you all believed in me." And I was like, oh, right, babyface. Yeah, cool. I just hear the phrase "you people" and I'm like instantly like, it's a heel promo.
I like "You People" promo because like usually you don't like people. How are you going to address them? You know, you pedestrians,
you idiots,
you skin dwellers. I don't know, because if you're mad, you'll be like, you people. I don't know. you know, you sleepwalkers. You keep getting in my way. It is people, but yeah, he did a "You People" promo. It wasn't a bad promo.
"You People" promo, but as a babyface.
Yeah.
And he's saying that people believed in me. I'm ready to fight. I've been here. Like there was a brief bit of time against House of Black where people were chanting my name, and that's what it's all about. I'm here to fight. House of Black then came out. Everything went dark, and spotlights one by one. Bang, Matthews. Bang, Brody King. Bang, Malachi Black in the middle. I was like, that's awesome. It doesn't make any sense, but it's awesome, and I don't care. And then they killed him. It's great.
Okay, for the sake of logic, as soon as I see Buddy Matthews, I'm freaking dipping. It did not make sense. I think that's what you meant, right? It's like if they basically gave him hints, and he still stood there. It's kind of like run. But he's still there. He's like, I'm a plucky baby face. I'm addicted to the high of my name being chanted.
Right. Must have been that, right? But yeah, it's great. They killed him. What a poor lad. Dark Order then came out to protect Fuego del Sol. We got a little stare down between House of Black and Dark Order. Cool. More people for House of Black to kill.
It was cool, but at the same time, it's kind of made me think like, ooh, this is what Dark Order tried to be. House of Black is what Dark Order, the initial incarnation, because now they're more like Dork Order, as they kind of, because they're a bunch of dorks. Yeah. They're lovable dorks. There's nothing dark about them. Join the Dark Order. Join the Dork Order, where you got Johnny Hungry and little jokes and so forth. But yeah, it's good. It's feeder, but I'm a bit disappointed because when Malachi Black did that promo, I think a couple of weeks ago, I thought it was going to be Malachi Black feuding with CM Punk, because it seemed like they were going after someone who's not got a taste for blood or whatever, and then it would have been a great feud. But it seemed like they're pivoting. Even if that was the initial plan, it seemed like they've pivoted. And Dark Order, it's a shame when you got a tag team like best friends. When you see a team like they're destined to lose to put a team over or whatever, and it's so transparent that because of House of Black's a new team, Dark Order has to put them over. I hate when stuff are telegraphed, but you know what? They may have Fuego win. I mean, they're building it to a Fuego win, right? It might be Fuego wins on Dynamite. I could be wrong. It could be it. It could be his time.
I doubt it.
Positivity, and you went nah. You went nah.
No, screw your hope. How dare you? Yeah, we then got Men of the Hour. Men of the Hour. That's Moth. Leo Rush. Men of the Year. Men of the Year. That's I'm getting my people mixed up. We had Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page did a promo with Dan Lambert. Scorpio Sky is saying that the open door is now closed. There's been so many people that have come into this company, challenged for the TNT title. I'm not going to be doing that. If you want to get a title shot for this title, you got to earn it. Open door's now closed. That was his promo. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I liked it. It was straight to the point, and also it's good because now he's champion. He's got his own set of rules that he abides by, and as a heel, it makes sense because obviously when a babyface wins, I'm gonna restore order and do open challenges again because that's what's gonna happen eventually. But yeah, right now I'm enjoying what they're doing with Scorpio Sky. At one point, I thought all hope was lost because he won that Sonic ring and they did nothing with him. But the course correction worked, and so far, so good. Yeah, nothing to complain.
Yeah, man. Like that. We had 5 and 10 of the Dark Order taking on reDRagon next. This was a decent little match, but like nothing too special about it. reDRagon won.
5 needs his mask. We spoke about this.
Oh, God.
Yes, him taking off his mask was the biggest mistake of his career. When you're part of a group where there's bald-headed man with beards, why would you take off your mask and show that you're a bald-headed man with a beard? a less charismatic one. At least with a mask, you can hide your charisma deficiency and coast on a mask. I mean, he's number 5 and 10 is 5 at 5 is 10. Big and little combination. There could have been something. He ruined it because his ego got in the way because he had good matches with Kenny Omega, and now he thinks his face needs to be shown. No, wear your effing mask. You ain't that charismatic. You're bald and you're bearded.
I'm right here, Sat. How dare
Hi,
you?
Pete. You're bold and bearded, but you're lovely. He needs to wear a mask. You don't need a mask.
Hey man, he's got a dangly earring. That counts, right? That's charisma.
His charisma is the earring. Get the heck out of here, man.
I thought this match was fine. Nothing much to it though. reDRagon won fairly quickly. Jurassic Express then came out for the save. Adam Cole then stole the tag titles and gave them to reDRagon. But I feel like the pacing was kind of off on this show, where it all happened way too quickly. Like, they won the match. Here comes Jurassic Express. Adam Cole's won the titles. He gives them to reDRagon. reDRagon have the titles. And now next segment. And I was like, whoa.
I was like, did that happen on Dynamite? Was that a recap? It was really, it did throw me. I just didn't understand what's happening. I guess they have the title now, which I don't like. Usually when a heel takes the title, it means they're going to lose the feud because rarely do you have someone that steals the title, keeps the title.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, this would look like if I was pushed. But I don't expect it for another year. That sort of thing.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? After that, Nyla Rose cut a promo. I thought this was a great promo. Nyla Rose should be cutting more promos. I think she's a very good promo. Does not need Vicky Guerrero at all. I think she's great.
It was a great promo. She's another person like Lance Archer. Lance Archer doesn't need a manager, and Nyla Rose doesn't need a manager either. Nyla Rose is actually really funny. She's got one of the funniest Twitter accounts around.
Tell me about it. Yeah,
she's got a great sense of humor. She's one of those people. Unfortunately, she's been typecasted by AEW. AEW, it touts itself for being progressive, but sometimes it falls into the old stereotypical tropes of the past. Nyla Rose should be a babyface by now. She should be by herself. I love Vicky Guerrero. I respect her for her own personal accomplishments and also being the wife of Eddie Guerrero. But her shtick has passed. There's other ways she can help in the company, and it's not what she's doing right now. She's holding Nyla back, and I hope that this will actually lead them to breaking up.
Nyla Rose then had a squash match against Madi Wrenkowski, I think I wrote that name down right. I don't know. It was a matter of seconds. It was
Madi. I remember her for being the Poundland version of Bianca because she used to have the same kind of plaits, and she even got into a Twitter dispute because people called her out on it. Yes, that's her. Yeah, nice. It was her. But since then, she trimmed it, and hasn't been the same since.
Yeah. We then had QT Marshall gave a certificate of accomplishment to Hook. Hook came out and no-sold it, smashed Aaron Solo's face off the certificate, then left. Danhausen came out and tried to curse Hook, and then Hook just walked around him and no-sold the curse. And Danhausen was like, my curse didn't work. That's right.
It was a segment. I miss Hook being with Team Taz. I don't like it because Hook's gone so popular that he can't be around the rest of his dogs. I like the three of them together because now Team Taz has been dwindled. Is now kind of been reduced to like 2 people in the team because Taz is barely there himself nowadays.
Yeah,
it's not just Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. But yeah, it was what it was. Bailey's former fiance not having a good luck ever since he broke up with Bailey, just getting head smashed and so forth. So poor Aaron Solo. Not
right. But yeah, I love Hook. I think they need to do something meaningful with him now. They've done the first bit of getting people interested in Hook, and they showcased him exactly how they should have showcased him. He's been having his squash matches, and people are so into Hook every time he comes out. Now they need to give him something of substance. Do something meaningful with Hook. I think now's the time. After this, we got the announcement that on Dynamite is going to be the Bunny versus a new signing in AEW in the Owen Hart tournament. Who do you think this new signing is going to be?
Rumor has it could be Tony Storm. I'm hoping it's Tony Storm. Other people hope it's Athena. So it's between Athena and Tony Storm for me. But hopefully more Tony Storm because Tony Storm is a great caliber athlete. She never got her fair shake on SmackDown. She'll forever be associated with throwing pies in Charlotte's face and getting pied herself. So that's a legacy in SmackDown.
That is Bad. That's what that is. Yeah, I hope it's Tony Storm as well. I think she's fantastic and would be a fantastic asset to AEW. Same with
Tony
Athena.
time. It's Tony time. Too many Tonys. Tony Schiavone, Tony Khan, Tony Storm. I'm more Tony'd out, guys.
We then got the main event of Ricky Starks versus Swerve Strickland. Nice pop for Starks in his hometown as well, like that. But this match I thought was pretty good. Both of these guys are really good wrestlers.
Impressive. Even the promo when Ricky Starks goes, the last house you're in, you're evicted. I was like, ooh, Starks. I love it that he's got this chip on his shoulder kind of thing where new guys keep coming in, they're trying to steal my spot. And the last matches he's been having has been great. His match with Jay Lethal was incredible. And this match with Swerve, I feel like Ricky Starks, if you put him against well-renowned athletes, he holds up his own. He's more than a promo guy. Like MJF, they're guys that can do promos and do well in the ring. I enjoyed it. It was the best match of Rampage, and the back and forth exchange was incredible. Yeah, what did you think, Pete?
Yeah, great stuff. Really, really good match. Worthy main event of Rampage, I thought. Really good stuff. I don't know how I feel about Swerve losing. You know, I don't want every person who comes into AEW to go on a massive win streak as soon as they debut. Not every talent needs to go on a massive win streak and because they're new, right? I get that. But also Swerve is so special, you know? I feel like he's such a special talent that maybe you should have protected a bit more. But I mean, he was protected. There was a distraction finish. Ricky Starks won because Powerhouse Hobbs took him out on the outside, got him in, Rochambeau, Starks wins. But I don't know, man. Like I'm in two minds about this. I feel like it's probably fine, but still.
Well, for me, they booked themselves in the corner when they didn't have to, because it was the FTW title match. That's why he had to lose. If it was a non-title match, Swerve should have won. So it's on whoever books the show for Dynamite, Rampage, is their fault. Like you're right. Swerve should at least, because perception is everything. If you've never seen him before, your first time seeing Swerve, he lost already. You know, wins and losses actually count in AEW. So I'm with you. I understand why you're struggling internally because you want to see the positive of it because he was distracted. He should have never lost. He should have never been put in that position to lose in the first place. So I didn't like that. But yeah, Swerve is one of the best counter wrestlers ever. Like he's got a counter for everything. And again, two more flamboyant guys in the ring outside of Sonny Kiss going at it. It was incredible.
Yeah, and then afterwards, there was going to be a post-match beatdown, but Keith Lee came out to save Swerve, kind of in the mirror image of what happened on last week's Rampage. So Keith Lee coming out, save Swerve. So now it looks like we're probably going to be setting up Keith Lee and Swerve versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks in a tag team match. Yes, please. Is what I say.
By the way, wasn't it obvious that the spot was going to happen? Because conveniently, we've got this shizzy banner. We're gonna walk it down for some weird reason, and I was like, I wonder if Keith Lee just hey,
there he is.
You go. Yeah,
there's a guy through the banner. Yeah, that's how it works. I thought that was good. I'm looking forward to Lee and Swerve being a team. I think that's quite a cool little team up. I don't want them to be a proper tag team though. I want them to be allies, and I want them to team occasionally. But I do want them to be special singles wrestlers because I think that's where they flourish the best, personally.
110%. But it's like, because I feel like we watch WWE, we're conditioned for certain things. It's kind of like if your favorite wrestler's not on the main cards, they're not flourishing. So in their minds, it's like it's to get them on TV because they more or less debuted around the same time, and they need to push both guys. So this is their way. I think it's an initial feud. Hopefully they go their separate ways. Swerve has been known for being a heel, so they can quite easily have Swerve turn on Keith Lee. Or someone joining Team Taz. I want that to happen one day, by the way, that Team Taz has someone successfully signed someone since Powerhouse Hobbs, because they've been unsuccessful since Hobbs has joined in terms of signing people. They need to sign more people. I'll join Team Taz. They're like one of my favorite. They're one of my favorite teams going. There's 1,000 teams going. Out of the teams, I feel like I fit in the most with Team Taz. I love Team Taz.
Yeah. So let's trend it on Twitter. #sign Sat to Team Taz.
No, don't do that. Don't bother Taz. Don't do that, guys. He doesn't like people.
Don't bother Taz.
Yeah, because people actually do it like for a laugh. Haha, Sat. Who's that Sat? I don't need that.
Get out of my mentions, you
yeah. Let's not do that.
Yeah. I thought it was a decent show. Nothing special, unfortunately. Like, it had a good match to main event it, but it's missable TV. There's some decent wrestling, but there's nothing really of substance.
I don't like
compared to Dynamite. There's nothing to it.
I hate when people say that, like, oh, it's missable, because they have great matches. I'm glad. Like, do you want more promos and storylines? It's a 1 hour show. It's kind of like when NXT was flourishing under 1 hour, then it became 2 hours and it lost a bit of its luster. You wanna maintain. This is a show you get more wrestling than promos. This is a show where you get certain wrestlers you don't see often. It serves a purpose, but I guess it's not everyone's cup of tea, which is okay. Everyone's allowed to have different types of flavors of tea. Maybe, Pete likes green tea, and maybe he likes coffee, but maybe he doesn't like regular tea. So this is maybe regular tea for you. You just don't like it too.
Maybe it's regular tea for me. I think there's a way I love that Rampage is such an easy show to watch. It's just good wrestling for an hour. Great. Love it. It definitely feels like the B show to Dynamite's A show. And I'd much rather that you have more featured stuff. Like, when's the last time a world title has been on Rampage?
Ooh.
It's been a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, start featuring more Dynamite. It's like Ollie put it earlier this week. They have a very soft brand split with Rampage. There are certain people that you associate with Rampage. Keith Lee starting to be associated with Rampage. Hook, definitely. Ricky Starks to a degree. There's very Dynamite talents. MJF, CM Punk, Britt Baker. All those people are like Dynamite talents. And then you have Rampage talents. And I don't like that. They should be more.
It's funny you say that, because at one point CM Punk was considered a Rampage guy.
He was a Rampage guy, right?
He was.
But then they realized it was like, oh no, actually, wait, Rampage is the B show. We need to put CM Punk.
No, that's not what happened. I'm hoping that's not what happened. No, in my mind is like they got Adam Cole. Like, in their mind, you're gonna get starring the signature wrestler for Rampage, co-starring Yelly Chris Jericho. Also, Yelly sat. Sorry about my microphone. At one point, I think I bursted some eardrums. You get Mark Henry every week. They got their own stuff, but you're right. They need to switch it up a bit, because it's getting a bit samey. It getting to the point like, oh, the black wrestlers appear on Rampage. Let's switch it up, guys. Let's have some cross-pollination. Something.
Yeah, exactly. But again, these are minor complaints, because Rampage is still a very easy show to watch, and it's enjoyable. I would have given this Rampage a 3 out of 5. It's an average Rampage. It was good.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 from me too. Jam page. That's what we're going to call it.
Jam page. Jam that jam page. Yeah. Right, we're going to have to wrap things up pretty quickly here. But before we get into the rest of your Ultra Chats, we have to thank some very special people. Those are our $25 and above Pledgehammers on our Patreon page. If you go over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/WrestleTalk, there are so many things you get over there. WrestleTalk Extra is live. WrestleTalk After Dark. You get loads of extra bonus content. You can get special customized shout outs if you pledge at the $25 or above tier, which these lovely people have. So let me get them up, because I didn't do this in advance. Thank you too.
Can I do it?
We're going to go back and forth. So
let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I'm sorry. I'm so excited.
It's all right. Well, thank you to the Aztec Warrior, Hector Rodriguez,
Joshua Weaver Cleavage,
Tony Starks, Jarvis Villasenor,
a baker's dozen, 9 of 13. I don't like that you put in Roman numerals. It's a good thing I can read it.
Hey, that's how the name comes, man. I didn't choose that. Freddie and Jason Williams,
Thomas Edie Stone.
I believe it's Eddie Stone. Like Thomas Edison, like Eddie Stone.
It's got 1D, guys. I can read.
I know.
Yeah. No, but it looks like Edie. Okay, sorry. Thomas Eddie Stone.
John Jenkinson, son of Jenka.
The Technical Wizard, Will Stewart Jr.
The Findicator, Finn Brennan.
He ran Aaron Hannaran.
The Junus Brothers, Junus Hakonen.
Russ Pooper Scooper Cooper.
Amazing. Thank you so much, all of our lovely Pledgehammers on our Patreon page. Thank you, all of you. Love you. Appreciate you all. Let's get into the rest of your Ultra Chats very quickly here. Sorry that the link has not been working. The WrestleTalk.com/support link has not been working, but we should have another one. Thank you so much for everyone who's ultra chatted in. Mayor of Painesville, Dan, said, "This is $1 billion company. It's WrestleMania season, and that's their best effort. Whoa, come on now. That's their champion. 6-man ladder match. Done deal. It's not even that hard. This company." Meanwhile, on Rampage, Dustin won. Yes, Dan, I'm sure you're very happy that Dustin Rhodes won. He's your favorite wrestler. I understand. Yes, I agree. This is their best effort. That's sad. Zoe Sung said, "Now for the real fun. Butch." It's always been my nickname Pokemon. This Pokemon looks like it's going to help Mary Poppins fix the misfit children from the 1930s. Why does WWE make all the English boys dress like they're pre-World War I? Checks don't bounce, I guess.
It's true.
Why?
Stereotypes,
man.
So, because once again, Butch is from Birmingham. Someone watched Peaky Blinders and found out they're from Birmingham and said, why not?
Yep, that's pretty much it. Zoe Sung said, "Hey yo, the Acclaimed." We got Pokedex entries from Zoe Sung again. "The Acclaimed, the mic drop Pokemon. I love them. The very best parts of AEW are the Acclaimed. Want to know what will be amazing? Swerve joining the Acclaimed, going after those trio titles. Everyone loves the Acclaimed. Tag team champs when?" I disagree.
I respectfully disagree because Swerve is cool and the Acclaimed are meant to be corny. You can't mix cool and corny because one has to become corny. Unfortunately, be the cool one, which is Swerve. You can't make him corny. So no, sorry.
Again, I agree with you. Nickname took forever as an 11-month Menberg. Thank you so much. Who just says Hook. Yeah. Tails P said, "Do you think Ricky Starks will ever lose the FTW title? If so, then to who?"
Hook.
Yeah. Hook. Great idea, Sat. Why didn't I think of that? God, that's great. Rolo said, "Pete and Sat, how are you two? First time Ultra Chatter, long time fan. Do you think Hook should join Starks and Hobbs in their feud against Lee and Swerve?" Yes, it would give him something to do.
I'm good. And yes, I agree as well. It will give Hook something to do. And he's part of Team Taz. I think that's what's missing is the most simplest thing. Put him back with his dogs. Put him back with his boys. So we'll have to cheer for him in matches. So what? It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah. Hannah Allen said, "Guys, this week wasn't my favorite. Still enjoyed the wrestling. Without mentioning spoilers, have you seen the deleted scene from The Batman? Thoughts? Were you fans of the film? Please don't tell me you haven't seen it. Lots of love, LIW 444 Life. Jam that jam." Okay, I won't tell you I haven't seen it.
And I won't tell you I haven't seen it either. But I will tell you, I've seen the YouTube, the Twitter, the clip was on Twitter, about the deleted scenes. All I can say is good performance, but I'm over that iteration of the Joker. There's more to the Joker. There's more they can pull from the well. I feel like since Heath Ledger has he's cornered the market of being the tortured soul Joker. I mean, don't forget the Joker can have a laugh as well. He's a silly person. Not have to be, I am miserable and I am, I got my face all messed up. There's more to him. There's more.
TV Guy AU says, "Is the fact that Rampage is taped the majority of the time versus Dynamite being live a lot of the time, do you think this is why it can't be, why it can be a show you can miss sometimes?" Yeah, I think that's probably a factor. I don't think it has to be, but I think it probably is a factor. Yeah.
Because it's taped, it comes across like a microwavable meal. It's not fresh dish. You eat on the spot, tastes nice. It tastes like secondhand staleness.
Yep. Leftovers. That's what it is. Rampage is Dynamite's leftovers. Jam page. Leftover jam. Leftover jam. That's what it is. Anyway, that is going to do it. We have massively overrun in the show. Sorry, we like to talk, I guess. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Sat, for stepping in for Tempest. Really do appreciate you being here. If you want more Sat, check out the NXT podcast. That's where Sat is now, on a Wednesday. Every Wednesday. Him and SB3 are going to be running the NXT podcast now. More Sat over there. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Thank you so much, Sat, for stepping in.
Thank you so much.
Etc. Hopefully we can chat about wrestling sometime soon again. That would be great.
That was good. Let's do it again sometime. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Press the videos on the screen soon. Stay safe. Love you very much. Goodbye. Where's my outro? I can't find it.
We're out of time, folks. We're out of time.
Where's the outro? There it is. Bye. 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 Bye.